This is a STRIPSACK DUALCAST. I'm the Hawk.
And I'm the Fat Man.
All right, Sunday's recap. Steelers 28, Ravens 24. Steelers haters, I thought they were going to lose against the Browns, the Titans, and the Ravens. This is your number one football team in the NFL.
Rams at Dolphins. It's Tua time, baby. Dolphins win 28-17 thanks to the defense.
Jets 9, Chiefs 35. Who doesn't destroy the Jets? Oh, the Bills.
Vikings 28, Packers 22. Good job, Vikings. Nobody saw that coming.
Colts 41, Lions 21. Rivers has been on fire the last 2 weeks. 6 touchdowns to 1 pick.
And talking shit the whole way. Raiders 16, Browns 6. John Gruden, that's my man.
Patriots 21, Bills 24. Zeke fumbled the ball and the Bills won. Oh, that was Cam.
Titans 20, Bengals 31. Good job, Burrow. Finally finished out a game.
Chargers 30, Broncos 31. Chargers are the new Falcons.
Who loses to the Broncos? Guess it's the Chargers. San Francisco 27, Seattle 37. Russ is back at it, baby.
Saints 26, Bears 23. Wim showcases his kung fu.
Dallas 9, Philadelphia 23. Danucci.
It's a me, a Danucci.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah, I wonder who's got those football cards on eBay right now.
This guy.
All right, dominators for the week. I'm going first. Dalvin Cook, 163 yards on the ground and 4 total touchdowns.
So my number one pick is that Miami Dolphins defense. They forced the Rams to have 4 first half turnovers. Without that, and we scored a defensive touchdown, almost 2, got stopped near the goal line. Hat goes off to the defense. It's definitely Tua time. They helped him out a lot.
DK Metcalf, 12 receptions, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns.
My last one is I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. He's out there flaming the Jets. I get it, but still he had 416 yards, 5 touchdowns, and I mean it was against the Jets, but he got Chad Henne some playing time too. So good job.
Yeah. Man, I thought it was a pretty good week or a good Sunday of football.
Yeah, there was a lot of upsets.
Yeah, I did absolutely horrible. I went 6-7 so far. Hopefully I win tomorrow. Bring it even. I don't want to have a losing record.
Don't worry, I did the same thing. I went 6-7 too. No shit talking rights this week.
Well, I'm still down 3 games.
Nah.
All right. Shank and Stank. The Rams got their ass kicked by the Dolphins.
So, that Dolphins defense looked really sharp today. They played really well. It's kind of weird to see a defense in Miami.
I'm going to go on a limb here and say they stank. This isn't the first game that they've looked like shit in. They looked pretty bad against the Bills in the first half. They looked bad against the Giants. They could have easily lost that game. I think they're one of those teams that just can't beat good teams.
I'm going to say they shanked it. They're very close to stanking, but the reason I'm going to go with shank is because it seems like they played at the level of their competition. So if they're coming in and it's a game they should win, they come in and they play like shit. And that we've seen that with teams before. Now, Miami was coming off a bye week. They had more time to prepare, get ready for it, get Tua ready for it. But, I mean, come on. We saw right in the beginning of the game. Aaron Donald gets in there, smacks Tua, ball comes out. They just played down to the level of competition. And, look, I'm a huge Miami fan. I think they're going to win the AFC East. But they just didn't play well today.
Yeah,
how often does Goff have 4 turnovers?
Yeah, that's like my biggest thing here is how good are the Dolphins? They destroyed the 49ers. You know, they were in the game against Seattle all the way up until the end. You know, it was 17-15 there. You know, they could have pulled that game out. You know, they were in every single game except for the first week, and you almost don't want to count that week.
Right,
So
when they
how
got
good are the Dolphins? That's my question.
I think they could definitely win the East this year
I definitely think so too.
with the way the Patriots are shitting up the place, and the Bills, yeah, they're winning, but they don't look very impressive lately. You know, they came out hot and they're just kind of they cooled off. They're another one that's starting to look like they played at the level of their competition as well.
Yeah, they won by 3 against the Patriots. They won by 8 against the Jets and got their fucking asses beat by the Titans.
And they almost lost today to the Patriots had Cam not fumbled the ball.
Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott fumbled the ball.
It's a greasy pig.
Yep. All right. The Packers, for 3 quarters, got their asses kicked, but they did make it close. Are they shaking, or do they stank?
They're shanking. I'm not putting them in that stank category yet.
I'm with you. I think, you know, it's a divisional game. It happens to the best teams. You know.
Yeah, I mean we see them. We saw them. They kind of got steamrolled by the Bucks. Like you said, it was a divisional game. I know me and you had talked the other night. You know, I was really intrigued by that game where, you know, I was on the side of almost taking Minnesota, and I sort of talked myself out of it because, you know, I'm like, it's Green Bay, it's Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, it's a division game, but Minnesota's playing like shit, and you know, they get the win.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. They're you know, it was just a shank for them. You know, it's the Dalvin Cook was amazing this game, amazing, and he's definitely the MVP of that football team. Um, I think that for the Packers, you know, their 2 losses, they haven't looked too good. Their wins, they look great. You know, the Vikings, though, they're a team that has a lot of talent, and they could have beat Seattle.
Well, I mean, I don't beat them up for losing to the Bucks. The Bucks have the best defense in the NFL right now.
I
So it's
beat them
kind
up 38-10 is horrible. This is a team that was number 1 at the time, and they got busted 38-10. Come on.
You're an A-Rod hater.
I'm not. I like talent.
He's just a crybaby bitch. That's what annoys me about him.
Right. Browns. You know, it was close, but they got their asses kicked. Shanker stink.
This is a hard one. It's hard because they have a whole bunch of weapons on that offensive side of the ball. It's almost like you kind of wonder, what if you took Patrick Mahomes and stuck him in there at quarterback with all that juice and all that gas? Like Baker Mayfield, he's one of those guys that I don't trust him. You can't. He'll have a game like last week where he's fucking phenomenal, and then just has a bleh game. I don't know. I'm bored. Yeah, they stank.
I'm gonna
Fuck them.
say
There's a reason why they're the Browns. There's a reason why they're called the Browns.
right. I'm saying it's a stank. All right. In their 3 losses, they scored 7 points or less. All right. And I've got something for all the Browns fans. He's Rex Grossman. Prove me wrong.
Rex Grossman went to a Super Bowl.
And stunk.
But he got there.
He had a way better defense. But
He
listen,
got there.
So you're saying Rex Grossman's better than Baker Mayfield?
Fuck it. Yeah, why not?
Like, Rex Grossman was the guy that it'd be really high, really low, really high, really low, week in, week out. That's Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Well, Rex Grossman got to a Super Bowl, so
Yeah, with a really good defense, though.
it was more like Brian Urlacher got to a Super Bowl, and almost beat Peyton Manning.
Yeah, well, carried by that defense. All right, some BS. Ravens, Ronnie Stanley is out for the season. Severe ankle injury. I think this is going to be a lot like the Titan situation. Uh, Losing the tackles is not easy, and I think that this is going to be kind of huge. I think they're going to, I think they're going to drop some games coming up forward because, you just can't lose tackles.
especially your left tackle. So I don't know if it'll hurt the Ravens as much as it could potentially hurt the Titans, just because Lamar Jackson is more of a running quarterback, a scrambling quarterback than what Tannehill is. So that's kind of where, okay, it hurts. It makes it hard. You don't have as good a protection. Yeah, just like with the Titans, you're going to have to slide an extra guy over there. And Tannehill has wheels. He's just not quite as fast as Lamar Jackson. And we see most of the time Lamar Jackson is running anyway. So,
Yeah, I think that this is going to hurt them, though, because they got to play the Steelers again, since Cincinnati's starting to show that they got a defense. So, I mean, losing a lineman's huge, especially a tackle.
yeah.
And I think Lamar's going to be, I don't think his production is going to drop at all. I just think that there's going to be times when he's just not going to have time to run around. He's not going to have time to throw the ball. He's going to be fucked.
There's going to be more pressure, like we saw tonight with Dallas and DiNucci just getting fucking killed because that offensive line couldn't stop a fucking cold.
Yeah.
I know we were kind of watching the game together, and I said, I'm like, I saw the blitz coming. How the fuck did they not see it?
Yeah, thankfully Lamar's a lot better at picking up the blitz than DiNucci. Of course, the guy's only got one freaking start.
Well, no, I'm just like let's be honest, a decent center makes a lot of reads too.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? Like the fucking center could alert what's going on. Like your center is the one he's the leader of that offensive line. He's the guy that makes all the line adjustments. Yeah, the quarterback might be back there fucking barking shit out, but a lot of times it's the center letting the lineman know what to do.
Yeah. All right, that's all I got there. Wims throw some punches. I want to know your take.
So at least he had the decency to walk up and tap the guy before he socked him. But, dude, don't punch him in the helmet. You're only going to you're not hurting him punching him in the helmet. You're going to break your hand. You're like Myles Garrett. Rip his helmet off and beat him over the head with it.
I think that was like the cringiest punch I've ever seen in my life.
Well, yeah. I mean, he kind of looked like a woman out there throwing that punch, but.
I wonder if he just like yelped out at, yeah, in his first swing. Right, and then he just like kind of like lost his shit. Like maybe he said something to him like, "Yeah, you're not even good enough to be on the field." He just goes, "Ah!"
Well, I don't even know if it necessarily had anything to do with him. I was reading about it a little bit, and I guess that defensive back had said something to the other receiver, and I don't know. Maybe he said stop banging each other in the shower. You have no idea what they said to each other, but he needs to call up somebody over there in the UFC and say, "Hey, man, give me some striking lessons," because that was pretty weak.
He should have took a page off of Myles Garrett and just ripped his helmet off and beat him in the head with it.
Well, yeah. Well, it kind of the other thing is too, right? It almost looked like he was committed to it to the point where he knew he had to throw the punch, and he backed out of it. Maybe that's why it looks so wonky. He's like backing out of it because he's like, man, if I hit this dude upside the helmet as hard as I can, I'm gonna break my fucking hand.
Dude, he's like the nerd you pick last in gym class, and he runs like the stiffest routes that you've ever seen. That's exactly what this fight looked like.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of fine he's gonna get. Like,
I think they're just gonna be like the embarrassments enough.
No, they're not. Like they should give him a fine for looking like such a pussy.
Yeah, I just like that he spazzed out at the end too. Just like I know that's what his face looked like. There's no way it didn't. He just lost his shit.
He probably over there trying to Hulk out, still looking like Bruce Banner.
Oh man! All right, Minshew's inactive. We got a quarterback battle in Jacksonville. Mike Lennon versus the rookie Jake Luton. What do you got in this?
I mean, how much of a battle is it? I mean, how much of a battle is it? Glennon's been on 5 teams in 5 years. He's pretty much stunked it up everywhere since his rookie year.
Mm-hmm.
Throw the kid in. Throw the rookie in. Let's see what he's got.
Yeah, 28 touchdowns, 3 picks his last year. You might as well. I think that everybody knows what you have with Mike Glennon. That's why
Right.
he's a backup.
I mean, could he come in and get you through a couple games? Yeah, depending on how long Minshew's going to be out. I still think you want to throw the rookie in and see what he has, because just last week they were talking about. I saw it on one of the sports shows. They're talking about yanking him.
No.
Now I wonder if that was just they're talking about yanking him because the last couple of weeks Minshew's been playing bad. But how long has he been dealing with this thumb issue? Because it's a ligament sprain and a small break. So
maybe it's nothing, and they're just saying it so when he goes back on the field, it's not a big deal.
I doubt it. I mean, I'm not a quarterback, but I'm pretty sure that your thumb has a lot to do with how you grip the ball.
You know? Well, unless you're DiNucci.
Sidearming it everywhere. I'm telling you, DiNucci, that's Tony Romo 2.0. You heard it here first.
Yeah, that's Ben Romo.
Yep, Ben Romo.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the rookie. Although it is safe, it's definitely safe to go with a veteran. You know, we saw Fitzpatrick was not good in the beginning of his career, and as a veteran, as a backup, we saw him start developing. You know, maybe Glennon does the same thing.
Well, maybe in this case, you put the rookie in and he shines out, and maybe you have a chip with Minshew. Maybe you could send Minshew packing, and now you got your starter for the next couple of years if they're really high on him. But let's be honest, Minshew came in last year and shocked everybody. Like, he was the hot guy last year. He was still kind of up and down, but I remember hearing about, Minshew and his porn stash every week.
Yeah.
So is
Magic
he really
Minshew?
Yeah, I mean, is he really that hot quarterback? Is he really, that, or is he just like that girl that looks pretty when you're 6 beers in? You know what I mean? Like, where does he fall? Because first game of the year, he had like a 95% completion percentage in the first game. And then, the last 2 weeks, he's hovering around like 55.
Yeah, I don't know. My thing with Minshew is he's not your typical winner. He's got his flaws. He doesn't have a very strong arm. His pocket presence is something to be desired. I think that he had a couple of nice games last year, but once you start getting film and tape on some of these guys, this is what happens. It's the NFL. Everybody has their tendencies. Everybody has their things that they, get caught doing, and that's what happened. People have the tape, they have the film, and that's why Minshew mania is no more a thing.
Well, maybe fucking Cleveland will trade Baker Mayfield for Minshew.
I hope Rex Grossman comes out of retirement, plays for them.
Okay. So here's a funny question for you, though, right? So Carson Wentz, a couple years ago, everyone's talking he's the next best thing, and then tonight, against the worst fucking defense in the NFL, Ben DiNucci in his first start has fucking comparable stats. I thought Wentz was supposed to be a star. Sorry, Eagles fans. Wentz is playing like fucking shit.
I'll give it to Wentz in this game. That wind was something fierce, and it's very difficult for any quarterback to throw the ball in those type of winds. So I think the player of that game was Greg the Leg hitting that 59-yarder with like 10 feet of clearance off the ground.
Yep.
Yeah,
well, he hit 2 59-yarders, didn't he? I think he hit one early, and then he hit one.
It was a 58. I think it was 59.
Oh, was it 58?
Yeah.
And then he, that knuckleballer that had a hell of a hook on it.
He's famous for that. I watched it in the NFC West for a while now. Like, it looks like it's going out, then it sneaks its way in, or it looks like it's in, and then it's just like out. That's him.
Look, and I hate to. I'm going back to it again. Like, even though we fed off of the Minshew thing, and it just kind of went off on a little side road. Like,
always does.
Yeah, Carson Wentz has been playing terrible this season.
Yeah, he has.
So I wonder how much more Doug Peterson is going to watch this and go, you know what, we're going to throw Jalen Hurts in. let's make this the year of the rookies. They already started sprinkling them in here and there.
Well, see, the thing is with his defense is he's carrying a football team. If there was no Wentz, they don't beat the Giants. If there's no Wentz, they don't tie the Bengals. Like Wentz is doing a lot for his team. He's making his mistakes because he has a tendency of doing quote unquote too much. So like that's really like his big thing. Travis Fulgham is his starting wide receiver. Did you know who Travis Fulgham was 3 weeks ago? No, nobody did.
No.
So I mean, that's the thing you have to ask yourself.
But
where's his weapons?
But that's kind of what Philly's famous for, right? Being scrappy.
Yeah,
We've seen him go to the
scrappy.
We've seen him go to the Super Bowl being scrappy. Like Wentz went out, Foles came in, the team rallied around it, and they were just scrappers. Last year, scrappers, winning games. Like everybody was hurt last year too, and they had a nice run.
Yeah.
This year, it just kind of seems like I don't know how much scrappy they got in them.
Well, they're at 3-4-1, so the NFC least finally has a 3-win team after 8 weeks of football. Thank God. And hopefully they go to 500 next week.
Did you see that? Did you see that stat they threw up tonight? Where like technically somebody could win that division at 4-11-1.
Yeah,
just the Eagles saying they could win it at 4-11-1.
If each team went 3-3 in the division and lost every other game outside of it, the winner would be 4-11-1. But I think that the Eagles will surprise a couple of teams going forward. I think that they're between 6 and 7 wins, 6, 7, 8 maybe. We'll see. They're a tough team.
Well, I think you'll see them sneak into the playoff. Well, they're not going to sneak in. They're going to win the division and get in, unless Washington kind of comes to light because their defense is pretty stacked. That definitely helps.
Yeah.
And we keep saying the Giants week after week look a little bit better. I still think it's Philly because it's the old dog, but maybe they get in the playoffs and their first game they line up somebody like the Rams that we know plays down to the level of their competition and they steal a win off them.
You know what though? Like another team that showed some fight this week was Dallas. They're down to their third stringer. They honestly this looked like the best game that they played all year. They looked like they wanted it. They looked really good, except they couldn't do anything on offense. I think that the trick plays were way too much, but with the win, what could you do?
And who was that kid? Trayvon Diggs? Maybe it's not Trayvon. Number 27, I think he was. He was having a pretty damn good game.
Yeah,
one of their corners.
Yeah, their defense stepped up this game. And that's what they need going forward. Both of these teams have the most talent in the division, and they could potentially start streaking at some point. I mean, hell, I think even if Dalton starts this game, they're scoring more than 9 points. If Dak was in there, they're scoring more than 9 points. That's the thing that sucks about Dallas is their starting guy is out, and even the backup is out, who's very talented. Now you got, Nick Wright with a mustache back there.
Quit picking on Danucci.
Right.
Tony Romo 2.0 right there. That's Ben Romo. That's Tony Romo's illegitimate kid when he knocked up Jessica Simpson back in the day. That's why she started to look like me after they broke up.
Yeah, except his right arm got stuck, and that's why he throws that way.
Maybe it got broke on the way out.
So, Monday night, Bucks Giants, 100% taking the Bucks. And all they really need to do is keep doing what they're doing, playing really good defense, and playing smart and consistent offense. That Tom Brady is looking like an MVP candidate. He's going to light it up probably against this defense. I'm thinking probably 3 or 4 touchdowns. And I don't see the Giants having a fucking lick of a chance in this game.
So with the week we've had, with all the upsets, I still can't fucking do it. It's the Bucks, man. It's the Bucks. Giants don't, they might put up a fight for a little bit, but eventually that freight train of Tampa Bay is just going to run away. This is probably going to be the worst Monday night game we have all year.
Yeah,
I think
I'm thinking 3 scores here, at least 17.
I think it's going to be. I think it's just going to be a total annihilation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of I was really leaning toward New York. Like, hey, we had a bunch of upsets. Let me
Mm.
look up the Giants here a little bit, see how they've been going, because I know they're getting a little better every week.
Mm.
And then I looked, and I'm like, wow, their defense is like ranked 10th. I'm like, no, that's pretty respectable. And then I saw their offense is like 32nd, and I'm like, ooh, that's. And then you look over at Tampa Bay, and their defense is first, their offense is 13th in passing, 17th in rushing, like right in the middle of the pack. But when your defense is just crushing everybody, you could be the middle of the pack. We've seen Baltimore go to a Super Bowl on just a standout defense. I'm not comparing Tampa Bay's defense to that 2005 Ravens team, but that definitely helps when you're working with a short field. And you got
Yeah.
the GOAT back there slinging it around, looking like he's 25 again.
Yeah. Actually, he's probably better now than he was when he was 25. I mean, you can just pull up the statistics. His
Yeah.
stats are way better.
Well, no, he's smarter too, right? So he's
Yeah.
more experienced, he's more seasoned, so he could do things like make sure they're always in a position to win, win on every down. That helps. He's not the guy that's going to throw the ball 70 yards down the field because he doesn't have to be.
All right. That's all I got, man.
Yeah, that's going to do it. Hey guys, make sure you're going over checking out our Facebook group. We throw some polls up there every once in a while. We want to make sure you guys are listening. We want to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to go on there. We put the polls up. We want to know what you guys want to hear us talk about. So keep it coming.
All right. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm the Hawk.
And I'm the Fat Man.
See ya.